Why is proving employee IP ownership vital? Have you ever wondered why it is so important for companies to establish who owns the intellectual property created by their employees? This question is at the heart of effective business strategy and intellectual property management. Let's break down the reasons why proving employee intellectual property ownership is essential for any organization. First, it is important to understand that, in many cases, the default ownership rules favor employees. Generally, an inventor or creator retains the rights to their inventions or creations, even if they were developed during their employment. For instance, under patent law, employees usually own inventions they create unless there is a specific agreement that states otherwise. This means that without clear agreements, a company might not own the intellectual property it thought it did. To avoid this confusion, employers should include clear intellectual property ownership clauses in employment contracts. These clauses should explicitly state that any intellectual property created within the scope of employment belongs to the employer. This legal assignment transfers all rights from the employee to the company, preventing any future claims of ownership by the employee. Another reason proving ownership is vital is to protect against potential loss of rights when employees leave the company. If there is no proof of ownership, former employees could claim rights to inventions or trademarks they developed. This could lead to competition or licensing of the intellectual property elsewhere. Clear documentation of ownership helps prevent these disputes and supports enforcement actions if necessary. Proving ownership also facilitates the process of filing patents and trademarks. When a company can demonstrate ownership, it can file applications in its name and maintain control over the prosecution process. Employment agreements often include provisions that requiring employees to assist with signing necessary documents for patent or trademark registration, ensuring legal protection is smooth and efficient. It is also important to distinguish between employees and independent contractors. Intellectual property ownership rules differ significantly between these two groups. Employers automatically own copyrights created by employees within their job scope, but independent contractors usually retain ownership unless there is a written agreement that transfers it. Therefore, proving ownership through contracts is critical, especially when working with contractors. Finally, having clear ownership rights supports a company's overall business strategy and intellectual property management. When ownership is certain, a company can develop and implement an effective intellectual property strategy, which includes licensing, enforcement, and valuation. This certainty is fundamental for leveraging intellectual property as a business asset, attracting investment, and maintaining a strong market position. In practical terms, companies should requiring employees to sign written agreements with explicit intellectual property assignment clauses before they start work. It is also wise to document the development process and resources used for any inventions or trademarks created. Additionally, companies should include obligations for employees to cooperate in patent or trademark filings and clarify ownership rights for independent contractors through separate contracts. By following these steps, businesses can minimize legal risks, protect their intellectual property portfolio, and align with trademark and patent law principles governing employee-created intellectual property.